in the body reduces IQ and increases cancers. Unfortunately, fluoride and its derivatives are only one of hundreds of toxins being added to our drinking water. We're battling the globalist on so many fronts. Health is an area where we can all take control of our lives, and it all starts with that basic building block of water. It is time to purify our family's water. The ProPure filtration system with added fluoride filters is the best system from my research to protect you and your family. InfoWarsStore.com already has the lowest prices on ProPure water filtration. But until December 10th, we are going to offer 15% off the already lowest price. I know what I'm giving my family this Christmas. ProPure. Go to InfoWarsStore.com and get 15% off the already lowest price out there with the code WATER15. WATER15, and you get 15% off at InfoWarsStore.com. Have you ever wanted to generate your own supply of electrical power, even save money on your electric bill? If so, this could be one of the most important messages you will ever hear. Solar-powered generators are now available. These emergency backup systems provide life-saving electrical power. Unlike gas generators, a solar generator runs quietly, emits no fumes, and produces electricity from the sun. It's like having an electrical power plant running quietly in your own home. Run sump pumps, shortwave radios, computers, and even keep your food from spoiling. Whether it's hurricanes, ice storms, brownouts, or blackouts, you'll never suffer through painful power outages again. And here's the best news. A remarkable fall truckload sale is going on right now that gets you $1,700 in bonuses when you buy a solar generator. To find out why these solar generators are the best generators and get $1,700 in bonuses for doing so, go to falltruckloadsale.com. That's falltruckloadsale.com. Generate your own supply of electricity. Go to falltruckloadsale.com. That's falltruckloadsale.com.
If you want an American company with American products made by Americans, here is the Cal Ben Soap Company. Alex and his staff have used these pure soap products for years. These all-natural soaps are made from the highest quality vegetable and coconut oils that are earth-friendly and safe. See them on the web at 5starsoap.com or call 800-340-7091 for a free catalog. Buy the 1 to 2 month sample package and enjoy soaps that are twice as good as what you're using now. Or save big with a 1 to 2 year supply of soaps for all your cleaning needs. This is an amazing deal. You can save thousands of dollars and you will love the way real soap makes you feel. See them on the web at 5starsoap.com or call 800-340-7091 for a free catalog.
Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central, we're here live. Back Sundays, 4 to 6 p.m. live. I'll be live this Sunday. Occasionally we have best of shows or recorded shows. I'll be live this Sunday, 4 to 6 p.m. Central. Also, InfoWars Nightly News, 7 o'clock every night Central. Former Congresswoman Cynthia Mckinney, demonized, taken out of context, giant media operations against her. We're going to play a clip of why coming up when she exposed Rumsfeld. There's like an hour of it, but there's short clips online. McKinney grills Rumsfeld where they admit DynCorp was running giant child kidnapping rings. That's who runs the major CPS contracting here in the U.S. They're the biggest single contractor as well. And they were putting the penalty box on Bosnian contracts for 1 year. That was their punishment. And they had the director of the Pentagon Budget Office, Dr. Chu, explain it all. And they are scared of her. And I'm telling you, she's got angels around her. She'd be dead. And she's here with us now. But we were having a computer glitch earlier. That's why I was repeating the clip. That happens sometimes, every once in a while. Crew's doing a great job. Here is that clip of that congressperson, before we go back to her, that replaced her, that the Democrats ran against her. Not like Republicans have run people against Ron Paul in his own district. Democrats hate the idea of the First Amendment does not explicitly restrict the right of corporations to free speech. In other words, to address this perceived flaw, Representative Hank Johnson, a Georgia Democrat, has proposed amending the Constitution. We need a constitutional amendment to allow the legislature to control the so-called free speech rights of corporations, but that would then lead on to individuals, and it breaks all of that down. This guy's a total puppet. Anything he's pushing, you know, is bad. Let's play that clip of him saying islands are floating. Here it is.
Well, this is a island that at its widest level is, 12 miles from shore to shore, and at its smallest level, or smallest location, it's 7 miles between one shore and the other. Is that correct?
I don't have the exact dimensions, but to your point, sir, I think Guam is a small island.
Very small island, and about 24 miles, if I recall, long. So 24 miles long, about 7 miles wide at the least widest place on the island, and about 12 miles wide on the widest part of the island. And I don't know how many square miles that is. Do you happen to know?
I don't have that figure with me, sir. I can certainly supply it to you if you'd like.
Yeah, my fear is that the whole island will become so overly populated that it will tip over and capsize.
We don't anticipate that. The Guam population, I think, currently about 175,000, and again with 8,000
Okay, that's
Marines
enough.
and
He goes on to talk more about capsizing. And Congresswoman, I apologize for even going back to that clip. I just want to point out, this is who the Democrats wanted to replace you with, because you've been critical of some of the things the Israelis are doing. And Ron Paul, in his farewell address, you know, he said, why is AIPAC? Why will no one be able to criticize AIPAC or they come after you? I mean, I've not even been overly critical of Israel, and I've had AIPAC lobby come after me. I mean, you've got to really, you know, just toe the line or they come after you.
Yes, it's true. And actually, in my schoolwork, which is the PhD is in leadership and change, and clearly our country needs both. But I'm focusing on targeted assassination, and I'm going back to the most complete and thorough documentation that we have of this particular phenomenon, or policy rather, and that is during the COINTELPRO, the days of the counterintelligence program. Now, what makes this an important issue for us to understand thoroughly is that now today we have a president who's saying that, who is claiming the right of targeted assassination, not just of foreign enemies, but of U.S. citizens on U.S. soil. This is such a grand leap into the stratosphere, or some of us would say the twilight zone, that we have got to understand. If we're going to dissent, we've got to really understand the ways in which now this playing field has been substantively changed by legislation and by the policies and practices that allow this kind of a thing of targeted assassination to take place with impunity.
Well, take the NDAA. Now they want to expand it to allow full military operation, not just have the military disappear us. And now the new Army manual, that can pull the number up for listeners, says re-education camps, that they'll put political dissidents, quote, in re-education camps. They're even using the authoritarian name, Cynthia. And again, former Congresswoman Cynthia Mckinney.
Oh, you better call me Cynthia.
but I mean, it's amazing that it's like open authoritarianism.
Absolutely. But you see, these are plans that were drawn up back during the time of the 60s. And that's why the church committee reports are invaluable for not only academicians and, historians, but also invaluable for people who want to dissent and to lead change today. Because Operation Chaos, Operation Garden Plot, these are all, if I were to say the things that are written in these documents, people would say, oh, she's this, she's that, call me all kinds of denigrating names. But it's there, and it's online, and it's under the church committee reports.
It's declassified. Tell people some of the stuff that's in there.
Well, they go into great lengths. They do in fact, they do a case study on the targeting of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And they did everything from the media, which they said that the United States CIA had relationships, and imagine that in the era of Pentagon perception management, that this is even multiplied now, but that they had relationships with publishing houses, journalists, entire media organs, foundations.
Operation Mockingbird.
In fact, every aspect of life. They say in the church committee reports that thousands of academicians, thousands of professors were on the CIA payroll, one way or the other. They were actively on the payroll, or they had projects that were financed.
And now it's literally, no exaggeration, 20, 30 times worse. Jesse Ventura, his first week as governor, they said, we want to call you down to the bottom of the Capitol. And there was 23 CIA people there basically telling him, we're watching you here locally. And he said, well, it's illegal for you to be operating domestically. And now tens of billions a year are spent in messages in TV, in the sitcoms and dramas. And what are they? Anti-family, anti-freedom, anti-gun. All of this, we are being bombarded with just absolute destructive messages here. And
That's right. In the 1999 trial that was conducted by William Pepper, who represented the King family, there was expert testimony given that said that approximately 30% of the CIA budget at that time was in this idea of, the Grand Wurlitzer shaping public opinion. Imagine what it is now. Imagine. So here we have the penetration of intelligence, and this is all cataloged in the church committee reports, from churches, domestically as well as international, universities, foundations, media and publishing houses. Every aspect of our life had been penetrated one way or another by the intelligence services of the United States. And this is back in the 1970s. Now, of course, back then, Frank Church, Senator Church, who led one part of the investigation, and Otis Pike led another part of the investigation on the House side, Frank Church said that these activities that ranged from targeted assassination through neutralization of people who dissent, like members of American Indian Movement, members of the Black Panther Party, members of the Puerto Rican Independence Movement, which is the three organizations that I'm writing about right now, and right through to the kinds of Jerry Rubin wrote an open letter that they went through his bank account. They knew how much he made every time he took to the stage and made a speech. They knew everything about Jerry Rubin. And at that time, it was illegal and un-American, according to Senator Church.
And now it is many times worse. But here is the silver lining. People in the FBI, people in the CIA, that was mainly race-based then, and it still is some to a certain extent today. But now it's purely cold-blooded, globalist, corporate banking cartel that took over with the Federal Reserve, but now is fully dissolving the U.S. people inside the police, the military, and other areas, because I talked to them, but we're seeing the evidence, they are now demoralized, but not in a bad way. They now get it because of countless people's work, like myself, you, Ron Paul, and others, and they understand. They're not buying the old stories of why they tell them to go out and do evil stuff. They now are getting this. So I think that's really the battle.